listening audience. I am Camille Shabazz of Macadine University, the place where you will learn more in 5 minutes than you have learned in 12 years of this crazy education. What I want to talk about today is a real serious subject based on a big part on my personal experience and also my personal studies and observations of close associates who were on the same path that I was at one time. The subject is the severe dangers of masturbation and ejaculation. Now you might say, why ejaculation? And I'm going to get to that in a minute. But if you look at the word masturbate, they did some alterations of the word on purpose to throw you off. But in the word masturbation or masturbate, they actually tell you what it is that lures you into doing that act. And that is that you're baited. Someone baits you with a picture, a magazine. You're baited by a video that you're watching. And before you know it, you're alone doing something to yourself, which is called masturbation, because you were mastered by that bait. Now, the goal of this government is for most men to be just drowning in pornography, because they know that if they can get someone hooked on porn, you have a slave. You have someone that's going to be an asset to the actual wealth of this country, because he's going to be spending money and he's going to probably be getting into a lot of judicial issues. So, like I said, the goal is to get you when you're young, because if you get hooked at a young age, you're going to be chasing that high, just like somebody that's chasing crack. You're going to be chasing, like they say, the squirrel is chasing a nut. That's what you're going to be doing your whole life if you don't get a grip on it. Now, back in the 50s, the Medical Association came out with a finding based on a study that people refuted 20 years later and said it was garbage. But in its report in regards to masturbation, it was said that masturbation causes both insanity and it causes blindness. Now, when they said blindness, people thought it was instantaneous, lose your sight. Blindness means you're going through stages of being blind. You're not fully blind, because what they observed is that whenever a man ejaculates, like I was saying in this last subject about a week ago, that it's the equivalent of eating 1 steak, 10 eggs, 5 oranges, and 4 lemons. This is what we let out. And that was back in the 50s, when the nutritional value of food was a lot greater. But since the 50s, a carrot is 99% lower today in vitamin A than it was in 1949. So it's a lot worse today when you're doing the masturbation and ejaculation all the time. And another thing that it does is it robs you of your dopamine levels. Dopamine is the reward hormone. It's the hormone that causes us to pursue a thing, whether it's a woman or whether it's a car or a home. You need dopamine because it's that driving force. Well, whenever you ejaculate, you're releasing dopamine. And you're giving, the mind is giving the false sense that you did something to earn that release of dopamine, when in reality, you did nothing but go and look at some porn. And what that does in time, it takes away from your motivation in life. It weakens you, it depletes you, and then it makes you really go crazy, because you need dopamine in order to even feel good. If you look at the word ejaculation, in the middle of the word ejaculation, you have jackal. The pronunciation of jackal, which is a dog. Because the more you ejaculate, you decline. You go from God to dog. You start to decline. You start to look like a dog, always looking on the ground, sniffing around for food, looking for the low-hanging fruit, while all the time continually trying to get that fix, until before you know it, you're caught up and you can't get out. And then you're personally trapped and enslaved to this vice. It's real serious. Porn in America, they spend $14 billion a year on porn. But the number one place, ironically, where porn is watched is in Pakistan, in a Muslim country. Think about that. So masturbation and ejaculation, man. Number one, as we teach in the Macadine, you shouldn't be ejaculating at every sex act. And you damn sure shouldn't be having sex every day. You are destroying yourself, and you're putting yourself in a position of being your woman's slave. If you always are entering into her and coming, you're killing yourself. You're robbing yourself of your vital force. And you wonder why you're overweight and watching TV with a big gut. No energy. Because you're not living the right life. And that's why we recommend, this is the bean of the macadine, the fava bean. The only bean that has dopamine in it. Dopamine works side by side with testosterone. They work in a way which is referred to as indirectional. When testosterone is low, dopamine helps it out. When dopamine is low, testosterone helps raise dopamine up. But in this world, our dopamine and testosterone is being removed on purpose, and you're helping. And another thing that's crazy, the lotions that we use today, not me, but America, they're full of estrogens and plastics. And most men, in addition to lotions, are using petroleum jelly. And what does it come from? Petroleum comes from a rock. And you're clogging up your blood vessels, masturbating with petroleum jelly. And these estrogen-based lotions, and you wonder why you having ED problems. You gotta cut it out, man. You gotta let it go, bro. Even if you gotta go to a sex anonymous class, get over that addiction because it's killing you. Masturbation and over ejaculation will kill you and make you like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. You can get your life back together in 90 days. Abstain for 90 days from everything. And if you got to go to a support group, get in touch with the Macadine on Facebook or whatever, we'll help you through it. But realize that you're really playing with death when you get involved with these two things, especially the top one. Excessive ejaculation is as bad as masturbation. So be careful. Learn about yourself. Take care of yourself. Change your diet. Exercise. Meditate. And definitely try to break ties with these addictions. More later. Peace.